All right, Sun Belt. Okay, so this is another one. All right, similar to the Mountain West, I think kind of could sneak into that G5 spot, especially those top two teams. We'll get to them in a little bit, though. Start number 5, we have Georgia State. All right, Georgia State loaded up in the transfer portal Power 5-wise. All right, they bring in a new head coach, Dell McGee. He was the Georgia running back coach, kind of similar to Syracuse. Okay, they brought in Fran Brown, and he kind of loaded up in the transfer portal. Dell McGee, I think it was like 2018, 2019, was like the number 1 recruiter in the nation. Similar to Fran Brown to Syracuse, like I said. And so he's kind of already showed that he can bring in talent to Georgia State via the transfer portal. Now, will it translate to success as a head coach? That's to be determined. But half the battle as a head coach, I've said this before in other videos, like half the battle is getting talent in your building. He's done that at Georgia State. All right, he's got a lot of Power 4, Power 5 guys walking in from the transfer portal. They should ascend up the standings a little bit. All right, number 4, Marshall. Marshall, kind of a down year last year. All right, they've got a head coach by the name of Charles Huff. You might have heard of him. He's kind of always in job hunts. Like, he's always listed as a candidate when like these Power 5 jobs open. I don't know why, but he is, so I guess he does something right. Now, they were pretty bad last year. They were sub 500, but fairly close. They bring in, trying to read my own handwriting here, Braylon Braden, something like that, from Tulsa. All right, Tulsa's quarterback. If you haven't watched his film, he's actually pretty good. I forgot he transferred there. I talked about that a few months ago and completely forgot. But he can run the ball really good. Now, the jury's still out. Can he throw the ball? But running-wise, he's pretty impressive. He's pretty fun to watch. On number 3, we've got James Madison. Let me get a drink before I dive into these top 3. Our number 3, James Madison. Now, they lose their head coach and a lot of guys to the transfer portal, 2 other spots. So they lose their head coach, Kurt Signetti, to Indiana. They lose their quarterback, Jordan McLeod, to one of the teams above them. We'll talk about them in a second. But I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt here. They bring in Bob Chesney as head coach. He's done really good things at the FCS level at Holy Cross. So we were talking about UNLV's quarterback earlier, Matthew Sluka. He played for this guy at Holy Cross. I kind of thought he would come with him to James Madison, but he ended up not. But James Madison should be all right. All right. Not only Bob Chesney, as he won before, they also bring in running back Io from North Texas. He put up some really good numbers last year. All right, diving in the top 2. Number 2, Texas State. Now, if you were to ask me, looking at their schedules, which one of these I think has a better chance of going undefeated, it'd be Texas State. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. This is just pure power ranking if they're playing each other. All right, Texas State. G.J. Kinney, pretty good job year 1 last year. All right, he reached 8 wins. Now, like I said, the main reason they're here is because they brought number 3's quarterback to their team. All right, so James Madison's quarterback, Jordan McLeod, really good dual threat guy. If you haven't heard of him, go look him up. He puts up some really good numbers. He transfers in conference to Texas State. All right, and they have every chance to go undefeated. Texas State, look at their schedule. They probably have an easier schedule than Liberty. Think back to last season, kind of what everybody said about Liberty going into Oregon. That's Texas State this year. All right, they play nobody. No reason they can't go undefeated. All right, Appalachian State is number 1 for me. All right, I think they're going to be really good this year. Now, they have a tough non-conference. I think they play Clemson, and they also play somebody else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I want to say Tennessee, but that might be wrong. They play Clemson number 1, though. So, Clemson, we talked about them earlier. They're Clemson. All right, no matter if people have question marks on them or not, they're still Clemson. But Appalachian State, they bring back Joey Aguilar at quarterback. They were really good last year. Double-digit win team almost. Actually, they were a double-digit team. I take that back. But Joey Aguilar, go look at his stats. All right, go watch his film. He's done really good things at Appalachian State. He's won a lot of games at Appalachian State. And as of right now, I think they are the best team in this conference. They get to play Clemson in the non-con, like I said, so we'll kind of get to see a little bit on really what they're made of.